tension.
Finally, it seemed like a good idea. Give Minari, a 9-year-old orangutan, a down comforter for her bed. Minari had other plans. She took matters into her own hands and made herself a winter wonderland in her cage at the New Orleans Zoo. As the feathers fly, it seems as if she can't get enough of the blizzard. Maybe the comforter wasn't the best idea.
With intern Louie, that's this week's edition of Lola's Lowdown.
That is so funny.
I don't know why they... Oh, yeah, she won't go and attack that thing.
Was it just to age a little more comfy?
Apparently, well, it's lots of feathers now. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
News 3 at 5 starts right now. And right now at 5, for the second time in a week, a high-profile celebrity has taken their life. We'll hear from a local expert about suicide resources in our area.
Plus, 3 people are dead after officials are saying about the cause of that crash.
Janesville parents are pushing for a city ordinance that they hope will stop bullying. We'll tell you about
is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with us. A developing story in downtown Madison this evening as fire investigators are on the scene of the old-fashioned restaurant because of large amounts of smoke earlier this afternoon.
Madison fire officials say they were called to 23 North Pinckney Street around 3:50 this afternoon. That is the building that houses the old-fashioned. They say they found a fire in the back of the building. The old-fashioned Facebook page says there was a fire in their grill hood and that everyone is all right. Officials say the fire is now out. They shut down the gas and utilities to the building. The building was evacuated and will be closed for the rest of the day. Crews are still investigating what caused the fire. An outpouring of sadness today for the second time in a week. A high-profile celebrity has taken their own life.
Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain was found dead in a French hotel room this morning. Bourdain was a longtime host of Parts Unknown on CNN. The network says a friend found the 61-year-old father unresponsive and confirmed his death was a suicide. Suicide rates have been rising in nearly every state, according to a new report this week from the Centers for Disease Control.
The biggest increase has been among people in the same age range as Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade, middle-aged white men and women. Our Rose Schmidt is in the newsroom to tell us about local resources if you or someone you know needs help. Rose?
That's right. Here in Dane County, Journey Mental Health treats kids as young as about 8 or 9 up to people in their mid-80s for suicidal thoughts. Their crisis line is open every hour, every day a year, and they get about 3,000 calls each month.
That's how I felt. I had nowhere to go and turn to.
Those are thoughts Tanya Kawapala has been battling since she was 10 years old.
I had my brother that killed himself, so about 7, 8 years ago.
Tanya comes to Journey Mental Health for help. She calls their 24-hour crisis line often, most recently last week after her friend died of an overdose.
So it triggered me a lot, and I've been thinking about it, and that's what made me go into suicide thoughts.
Crisis supervisor Teresa Bednarek says people have thoughts of completing suicide for a number of reasons.
Every case is different.
Even day-to-day stresses.
Where am I going to live? How am I going to pay the next month's rent? You know, how can I be the person I want to be and I'm not?
She encourages people to call the crisis line if they live in Dane County, where a trained clinician will help create a safety plan in which they remove access.
If you don't have those pills right there with you, or the razors or the gun, the possibility of being impulsive and trying something lessens.
Teresa says recent news of celebrity deaths like Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade can impact the number of calls to their crisis line.
And I think it's because people now say, they have everything at their plate. They've got wealth and popularity and people around them, and yet they want to kill themselves.
But there is always hope, and Tanya is proof of that.
I haven't had any cutting or like that for the past 7, 8 years. So I've been doing very well. Staying sober for almost a year, so I've been doing very well.
Thanks to Tanya for sharing that story. People who live in Dane County can call that 24-hour line. Journey Mental Health has resources and places you can stay, and they can bring trained experts to you. And anyone can call the National Suicide Prevention Line. We also have resources on the Time for Kids page of our website, channel3000.com, but I cannot emphasize that enough. If you need help, there are places to get it.
Yep, very important information and very brave of Tanya to talk about it and share her story. Rose Schmidt in the newsroom. Thank you, Rose.
3 people are dead after a 2-vehicle head-on crash in the town of Westport after one vehicle was seen driving recklessly. The roads were closed for around 5 hours while crews investigated the crash. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says it happened on Highway 19 east of Waunakee around 10:20 this morning. The initial call came into Dane County Dispatch as a head-on collision involving 2 vehicles in which one vehicle had started on fire.
A eastbound vehicle had been observed prior to the crash driving recklessly and passing other eastbound vehicles on the right shoulder, the gravel shoulder of the roadway. Just prior to the crash, the at-fault driver appeared to have lost control and struck another vehicle that was westbound in a head-on fashion.
The driver of the car and a passenger in the minivan were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the minivan was taken to the hospital by MedFlight, where he later died.
4 people were injured after a head-on crash in Dane County. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says it happened on Highway 14. Deputies say 4 people were injured, and they have serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is still under investigation.
Let's get a look at your first alert weather. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is in the Weather Center. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Mark. Showers and thunderstorms are possible basically throughout this whole weekend. We did have a batch of showers and thunderstorms a few hours ago really dissipate quickly as it got closer and closer to Madison. Right now on Doppler track, some very light rain, some sprinkles close to the Dells and Camp Douglas. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. That's what we're seeing in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Current conditions, we're at 73 degrees, wind out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. Dew point in the upper 50s, close to 60, so a little bit on the humid side outside. Temperatures in some other spots, 66 in Waukesha, 68 in Mineral Point, 70 in Monroe, 75 in Janesville, and 67 in Lone Rock. Dew points in the 50s and 60s, so that humidity is a little bit elevated. Wind speeds out of the east today at about 8 to 15 miles per hour. As we head into this evening, mild, mostly cloudy with more showers and thunderstorms possible. Temperatures will fall into the 60s. When I come back in just a few minutes, we'll try and time out the rain chances this weekend in your first alert forecast.
All right, thank you, Dave. The driver accused of killing a Madison man and injuring his wife in a crash on Midvale Boulevard is facing 6 new charges. An amended criminal complaint filed in Dane County Court says 19-year-old Benjamin Cortez's blood tests came back and indicated he had THC and a cocaine metabolite in his system at the time of the crash. Officers say Cortez was driving more than 100 miles per hour before the crash on April 27th. Police say he lost control of his car while driving recklessly and crashed into Greg and Patty Namitz. Greg died instantly. A family spokesperson says Patty is improving but facing months of rehab before returning home.
Janesville parents are working together, hoping to stop bullying. 2
moms have started a petition for the city to pass an ordinance that would penalize bullying. Our Rock County reporter Jenna Middaugh is live in our bureau at the Janesville Gazette to tell us their plan. Jenna?
Hi, Mark and Susan. Well, in just under an hour, these moms will be meeting with other parents in Janesville to talk about bullying. Katie Jones and Bree Martinson started a petition on Sunday, and it already has more than 600 signatures. The moms are asking the Janesville City Council to pass an ordinance that would issue warnings and fines to parents of children who are bullying others. Both moms say their kids have been bullied, and after a Janesville 6th grader's recent suicide, they want bullying to be taken seriously.
I feel it's a necessity because now we've lost another 12-year-old in the city and nobody's batting an eye, nobody's standing up for any of it, and they're just brushing it aside, and it's time for action before we lose another child.
The moms have talked to police chiefs in Monona and Shawano, 2 cities that have similar ordinances. They plan to speak at the Janesville City Council meeting on Monday. And tonight at 6, the moms are meeting with other parents to answer questions and hopefully get more people involved with their movement.
Jenna Middaugh in our Rock County Bureau. Jenna, thanks. Milwaukee's police chief says an officer who survived a fatal squad car crash has been released from the hospital. 36-year-old Officer Matthew Schulze was treated and released from the hospital. The hospital says Schulze was the squad car driver. His partner, 23-year-old officer Charles Irvine Jr., died in the crash. Those two officers were chasing a reckless driver yesterday evening when the squad car rolled over near an overpass. The Milwaukee police chief says the suspect they were pursuing is a 28-year-old man with a lengthy criminal record. He says the suspect is in custody, as well as a 45-year-old man and a 26-year-old woman.
Officer Irvine now joins a list of heroes here in Milwaukee, and I ask the residents of this city and this region to never forget his service and sacrifice.
He is the first Milwaukee police officer killed in the line of duty since 1996.
The NBA player who was the subject of a violent arrest by Milwaukee police in January is planning to file a civil lawsuit against the force. The filing was set for today, but it's been postponed until next week. Police body camera footage shows officers tackling and tasing Sterling Brown over an alleged parking violation. Brown was not charged with any crime, which prompted an internal affairs investigation. The Milwaukee police chief apologized for the incident and said an undisclosed number of officers would face disciplinary action.
Tuition this fall at the University of Wisconsin schools will not go up for the 6th straight year, but that doesn't mean that other fees won't. Student fees and the price of room and board are increasing at several UW locations. Today, the UW Board of Regents approved a new budget that will increase those costs for students at UW schools. The plan raises student fees at four-year schools by an average of $33 a student. Room and board increases by an average of $118 a year. Students at UW Eau Claire will see the largest room and board rate hike. Student costs will stay the same at two-year schools.
People in Janesville now have a new place to stay active. Today, the city held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for its new outdoor fitness court. It's located on the corner of River and Court Street right downtown. It's a body weight circuit with 7 different movements people can do for a full body workout. Officials say this is the first outdoor fitness court of its kind in Wisconsin.
You know, as a lifelong Janesville resident, I've always hoped for something like this, for a free, accessible fitness court for folks to be able to take advantage of when it fits their schedule.
There are 30 different pieces of equipment, so up to 30 people can use the fitness court at the same time.
The Goodman Pool is kicking off opening day with a big splash. Goodman's Jewelers gave the first 500 kids who visit the pool free admission today. The Goodmans, of course, were longtime supporters of Madison organizations, including Madison Parks. The donation of $2.8 million from Irwin and Robert Goodman helped build the pool, which opened in 2006. The pool offers hundreds of kids swimming lessons and other programs thanks to the Goodman Foundation and its scholarship program.
Well, the Dane County Humane Society is taking care of hundreds of turtle eggs. The Humane Society says they see a lot of turtle patients around this time of year. They say that the turtles are moving from ponds to find places to build their nests, which means they are more prone to be hit by cars. Currently, the Humane Society is incubating 333 turtle eggs. They say the turtles will spend 60 to 90 days in the incubator before hatching. Turtle hatchlings will then stay in their care for another week while they help them transition to the outdoors. That's a lot of turtle eggs.
That's very interesting,
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, coming up here on News 3 at 5, 2 more Mesa, Arizona police officers are under investigation. Mesa, Arizona, that is. We'll tell you why.
Plus, President Trump is in Canada meeting with the leaders of the G7 countries. We'll have that when we come back.
And on Wall Street, the Dow is up 75 points. The NASDAQ gained 10. The S&P ended up the week up 8. We'll be right back.
Two more Mesa, Arizona police officers are under investigation after another case questioning police use of force has come to light.
Yeah, the Mesa Police Department released these new body cam videos of the arrest of a 15-year-old robbery suspect. Officers chased down the teen and a 16-year-old girl last month when they were called to investigate an armed robbery. Two of the officers involved in this May 17th arrest are now on administrative leave and are part of the same squad as a group of officers accused of using excessive force in another May arrest.
You have a total right now of 6 officers from a particular squad, from a particular shift, who have been suspended. And this is a culture that has been acceptable with the city of Mesa.
Mesa Police Chief says that the department will undergo a full independent investigation.
President Trump has arrived in Canada for the G7 summit, where he said he expects to engage in some tough talk with 6 U.S. allies. Relations are tense after the president slapped new tariffs on imported steel and aluminum from Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. France and Canada refuse to back down on President Trump, who insists the tariffs will keep the U.S. safer. The president had a message for Mexico and Canada.
If we're unable to make a deal, we'll terminate NAFTA. We'll have a better deal. If we are unable to make a deal, we will be better off.
Meanwhile, the president will leave the G7 summit early to head to Singapore for Tuesday's summit with North Korea's dictator. The White House is demanding complete denuclearization from North Korea. So far, Kim Jong-un has made no promises other than he says he's willing to talk about it. The summit will be held at Singapore's Sentosa Island, where the U.S. delegation will include Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and National Security Advisor John Bolton. President Trump said Kim Jong-un could be invited to the White House if the meeting is a success.
Well, the weekend is here. Let's find out what the weather is going to be like. Dave Caulfield is in the backyard patio with all the details. Dave.
Lots of shower and storm chances, Mark and Susan. Just to sum it up there, the umbrella is really going to need to be attached to us for much of this weekend, with the unsettled weather continuing that we have seen so far in June. That will continue into this weekend and the start of next week. I think I felt a raindrop over the last couple of minutes, but it's tough to tell. It is a little bit humid out here. Speaking of raindrops, there were a whole lot of raindrops further to the south and west as that first line of showers and thunderstorms came through early this morning. Some heavy rain in Madison as well, but the bigger rain totals closer to Platteville, 1 to 1.5 inches of rain from that earlier bout of showers and thunderstorms. And even closer to north central Iowa, radar estimates of about 3 to 6 inches of rain from those morning storms. So these storms really are packing a punch in the way of downpours, and that trend will continue over the next couple of days. Now, for Madison at the airport, we really didn't see much at all of that rain, only 1/100th of an inch, bringing our June total up to 0.33 inches. Remember, average for the entire month is about 4.5 inches. And some showers and thunderstorms possible this evening. Some very light rain showing up closer to the Dells and Camp Douglas at the present time. Zooming out, we can see still more showers and thunderstorms. Some nasty weather close to Fargo, North Dakota right now. And as we head into tomorrow, some of the thunderstorms that will break out could be a little bit on the strong side, especially with those downpours. So that's something to keep in mind. Current conditions in Madison, mostly cloudy, 73 degrees, northeast wind at 6 miles per hour, and a dew point of 58 degrees. High temperatures today in the 70s, some 60s, though, with a lot of clouds around. 67 the high in Lone Rock, 75 in Janesville, and that's right about where temperatures are right now. 70 in Monroe, 69 in Platteville, and 67 in Boscobel. A little bit on the humid side, especially closer to southwestern Wisconsin, 63 in Platteville, and in Mineral Point, 60 the dew point in Boscobel. Wind speeds out of the east today at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That shouldn't be a huge part of the forecast going forward. It may keep us a little bit cooler. Check out this time lapse in Platteville of those thunderstorms. You can see really good structure to those storms at times. Here's what it looks like in Platteville right now. That is a gorgeous shot on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. So tonight, mostly cloudy with scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers and storms as well, and temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Future track showing the possibility for showers and storms in the forecast as we head into tomorrow and tomorrow night as well. For the rest of tonight, don't put that umbrella away either. Have it with you. Have it ready to go at a moment's notice. Then some more substantial showers and storms could be with us on Sunday. We have a chance right now in the forecast, and it's tough to pin down where these will exactly set up, but where they do, some heavy downpours are possible over the next couple of days. So your 7-day forecast showing temperatures staying in the 70s for the weekend, but will be in the 80s by the time we start the work week next week. Plenty of chances for showers and storms. Circle next Wednesday, folks, because I think we can put the umbrella away for just a few minutes or so. That's about it. So here's your first alert traffic update. Taking a live look at the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Definitely still slow go on the eastbound side. That accident still showing up close to the interstate and where the Beltline and interstate meet. So that could be causing some delays right about now. And we could see still some slow go close to Stoughton Road and in the Beltline midsection, a little bit better as we get closer to Seminole Highway. Your drive times this evening, Verona Road to John Nolan, 11 minutes, average speed of about 25 miles per hour. Eastbound John Nolan to the interstate, that's 20 minutes right now, only with an average speed of around 15 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic. For many students, this is the first weekend of summer vacation, and I wish I had better weather. But Mother Nature still has some scores to settle over the next couple of days with lots of shower and thunderstorm chances.
Well, it's a long summer.
That's
yes,
right.
It's a long haul.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Ahead on News 3 at 5, we're going to tell you why high-end auto brands are shifting to sport utility vehicles. That's when we come back. Many ultra-luxury automakers are introducing new SUVs in hopes of luring over new customers.
As Chris Martinez tells us, the super swanky sport utility vehicles come with some of the biggest vehicle price tags ever.
With a base price of around $200,000, the Lamborghini Urus is one of the most expensive SUVs in the world. It's also one of the fastest, clocking 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds.
And a top speed of 187 miles per hour.
Lamborghini, known for sports cars, is among the latest ultra-luxury brands to shift into the lucrative and growing SUV market. Maserati rolled out its $75,000 Levante in 2016. That same year, Bentley debuted the Bentayga with an entry price of $195,000. Options include fine silverware and even a carrier for your champagne. And the brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan features extras like these retractable recreational seats that deploy with the push of a button. It's expected to cost about $325,000 when it hits showrooms this year.
These are wish fulfillment, dream sort of rides.
Motor Trend editor-in-chief Ed Lowe says SUVs are the most popular vehicle on the road, and almost every automaker is producing them. Even Ferrari is reportedly considering one. But the high price tags aren't stopping customers.
When you talk to most manufacturers, they are flying off the shelves in pre-orders. There's a lot of pent-up demand.
Pietro Frigerio from this dealership in the Los Angeles area says sales of the Lamborghini are already booming.
It's pretty much sold out for over a year.
It's why experts believe the ultra-luxury SUV field will only continue to grow. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Costa Mesa, California.
Who is buying these cars?
It's sold out for a year. It's on a waiting list.
And Aston Martin is building one too.
Wow. The automaker says that vehicle will be available with autonomous driving capabilities.
You can dream.
Get a red one, you get a black one.
There you go.
All right, we'll have another check of our weather when we come back. Keep the umbrella handy.
Oh, yeah, for the next couple of days at least. Tonight, Doppler track is pretty quiet right now, but some light showers and thunderstorms possible as we head into the next couple of days. And the 7-day forecast is pretty active as well. Lots of thunderstorm chances. We're into the 80s by the start of the work week next week.
All right, thanks for your help tonight.
You're welcome.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here for News 3 at 6.